into Magnus, and then we see Glacius now coming out. Yeah, Lords of War's first pick, but again, it was banned last game, I believe, by Zlapped, if I'm not mistaken. So clearly there is something there. And this time they happen to get it, actually.
Yeah.
So.
It is a very strong hero. That was the first. There are a couple of heroes right now that are just individually very, very strong. You know, Riptide's one of them. Sulfuras is another. Wild Soul also. There's a couple that are just Tremble, for instance, that are just very, very strong and first pick worthy. So that one is definitely one of them. It seems to always find the farm, no matter how it's laning and or even jungling or whatever. It always gets the items and the impact. Low cooldown on the ulti, huge impact against a single core hero or lineup. So strong hero in Sisal Forest here, and they follow up with Puppet. I'm not too surprised by that. It's probably gonna be the man up in the off lane with the Puppet Master Glacius, maybe another hero, jungle or second support. We'll have to see. And then I think it's gonna be the short lane Sulfuras, might be mid lane, but I think it's gonna be short lane and then initiate hero mid.
Okay. That'll be interesting. I want to say we have seen Probus definitely play the South Forest before, so yeah. Pearl coming out, that third pick. Interesting one there, too. A hero that has kind of been tried here and there in places, and I've definitely thought that we would be seeing a bit more of her, so Sync likes her here.
Yeah.
Can you see why? Is there any specific you think they like her here, or is it just happens to work?
Sometimes when you puppet ulti a target, the puppet master stands pretty far away, and you can like put the ulti up, and it doesn't deal damage. I think, so that's one of them, I guess. I'm not really sure. It's kind of like, it's really good against this and this.
Yeah.
You can pop it to not take damage from the foil ulti if the target's almost dying. But I mean, that's not a valid reason to pick it up. Kind of, it's like it counters Maledict from Voodoo Jester. It's not that idea. I think it's just a team fight about it. It forces people to enter the bubble or to run away.
All right, well, they got that defensive minded support here, whatever it may be. Got their short lane carry is something that they still need to now figure out here. They are spending a bit of time on this first ban here, in the second banning stage, that is, so clearly thinking about something, so we'll go Parasite eventually. Taken out. Interesting there. Yeah, I guess if they expect Lord South Forest to be in the lane, then yeah, banning junglers does make sense, but
yeah. Provask is starting to ban junglers here again too, so I don't think he fears a Mage Bane this time, because that's a kind of hero that soaks up all the farm, and then you have the Forest who eventually gets a sheep stick and the ulti on top. So, and you have a Puppet Master burst too. So they have a good lineup if it's only a single core this time for Hellborn again. And takes out a huge teamfight hero in Tempest, and Slap takes out the Hellbringer. I do think that if they get the Hellbringer too on Legion, they have a huge teamfight presence. And they can, get a kill into tower every time with the Hellbringer ulti.
Yeah.
So I understand that ban.
We got the one more on either side then. Then into the picks here. Again, this is our final game of the day, guys. You take a look at the standings going into this one, so Sync Esports, again, this is really only their second series now that they're getting things going here. They defeated Nightmare Knights earlier today, so starting off strong and trying to continue that here. So this would be definitely a big one for them to especially go 2-0 against. We're fresh, trying to prevent that, obviously. So see how they're able to do that. You see the Chronos being right-clicked. That is something that Sync has been known to do here, actually, a bit. Oh, never mind.
That's a good heads up from Probusk there, because I'm agreeing with you. I think they might actually have picked that up. It's pretty good. It's a huge teamfight hero, and then it's on the carry, so it's not bad. And it will definitely make create some havoc for the Legion side here, because they can't, especially against the Puppet Master in that Chrono field there, he will have trouble surviving.
The double bubble would have been fun between Pearl and Chronos, but don't get to see it. So Fade coming out with the final ban. It's definitely some more mid-style.
And then the Blink Pill pushing other people into the first bubble. See it happen. But probably not, but yeah.
The ruin our fun. No, Mage Bane and Dark Lady are being right-clicked over here now on Sync instead, so it's almost like it's just going to be one of those two, whatever one they decide on.
I think if they go Dark Lady, I think Probask is kind of happy with that. I think that, I mean, he's not banning it either. It's a hero, doesn't bring too much of a team fight, and they can control it with the Puppet ulti and the Sulfuris ulti. It's alright for them. And they don't need necessarily to use Puppet or Sulfuris ulti onto Riptide or Magmus. It might be enough for them to just auto-attack those down in the late game. So it's going to be a bit interesting to see here, because it's probably going to be another hard carry for Haxorn here. Geomancer.
Geomancer. Okay. I've made my opinion about this hero several times. The very few times we see him, I say basically the same thing. It's just I like seeing it because he's just a slightly less effective Magmus. Yeah, Magmus is the most played hero on the competitive scene, so I think there's good reason for it.
I completely agree. The first thing I'm doing is looking down at the strength viewers and seeing what's banned and what's left, just to see, isn't there a better hero than exactly that one here?
Yeah.
I'm looking for the Magmus first, maybe even a Lodestone or a Meraxis or something like that.
True.
They are still up, but they want this Geomancer here. I will say it is an initial stun once you have the portal key. Like there's nothing about it. It's not like you have to blink on top of them with Lodestone, then putting out the Q and then pressing Q again, so people can react to it. That's harder for sure. So once he has that, it is an okay hero, but it's also hard to coordinate with the ulti. I mean, it's really hard for him, especially since they don't have a second stun that can follow up, and then the ulti can, stun after that second follow-up stun. So he's going to be initial stun, and it's not a good game for him to land his ultimates. He's basically a stun in this lineup here. Yeah. Arachna and Puppet. Okay.
All right, yeah, really kind of a tri-course being set up here all of a sudden with that Arachna final pick. And, I mean, they haven't readied up yet, but I would believe if this is how they do it, I guess, because they really have to jungle Lord Sulfuris now.
Yeah. And right now it screams to Sync that, if we can, keep two of these heroes down, Arachna and Puppet or Arachna and Sulfuris or something like that. Geomancer's he's a decent laner, but I think they can find something that does work pretty well against him. It's gonna be the Mage Bane. So.
Alright, they still like the Mage Bane. I think the mobility
it's gonna be an interesting game, to say the least. I mean, even if Mage Bane blinks in, they have an Arachna ulti for him. So, honestly, the targets is for Puppet and Geomancer and Sulfuris is gonna be the Riptide and Magmus, and Solstice last, I guess. But killing those off. This is an interesting draft from both sides. It's gonna be fun to see how this plays out.
No, I totally agree. This is definitely fairly unique, and just last game we mentioned how Sync's lineup especially was a very just strong, solid lineup. Really, not a lot of question marks at all. And this time though, it's a little bit change of pace for both sides, for that matter. So, yeah, this is should be a very interesting game to say the least. Two quality teams going at it. So, kick it off with a pause here, but expecting the laning phase to start. I mean.
I would say that if they can come out ahead, or from the laning phase, the Legion side, they're in a really good shape. If Ragnar and Puppet can have like 300, and Sulfuris has 350 in jungle or something, and Geomancer has about 200, I think they're in a really good spot for sure. But they have a Solstice and Magnus on the enemy team, so those two heroes can definitely gank. And I don't see a lot of response on the Legion side. Like, okay, Geomancer can pour it in. Glacius, if he's at the right place at the right time, he can definitely get a turn kill or stop a kill from happening. But it's definitely the aggression is on the Hellborn side because of the Magma Solstice so far. And the Riptide, of course, when he is level 6, can do something. Or one rotation happens mid for him, and he has that long silent slow to get down a hero.
Yeah.
But if they stay alive on the Legion side, they're in a good spot, and it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, Solstice is definitely another interesting one too, where again, Sync is the only team that seems like they really play him at all if he's gonna be played, and specifically Zlapped, of course, he's had that history of playing the hero, but really no other team plays much Solstice actually. So, but Zlapped, he likes it and he does make it work. And I almost kind of wonder a little bit as to why others may not play it as much as he does, but. I'm sure he's just fine with that at the same time. It's kind of his niche hero. Maybe that in like a jungle doctor or something, but he's known for doing here. And yeah, to clarify, I see somebody bring it up about because with the Pearl pick, and no, the Q does not remove the Lord Self-Force ultimate. Nothing removes the Lord Self-Force ultimate.
Not even Juve. Not even popping Shrunken, I think. So
nope.
That's really nothing.
You just have to accept it. Kind of like the Cursed Ground. It's like, well, it's on me.
Yeah. Yep.
Hope I don't die. God, I'm getting this really annoying water sound again. I think it's just the pause, but if it's not, I'll have to restart it.
It's not on my end, is it?
Yeah, no. I think it's like it depends where you are. Like if you're near the well or something, or if it's like a certain spot. If the game gets paused, or if you like leave the game, it'll like have this playing water sound that plays over and over again.
Oh, okay. Or if like it gets paused while Behemoth is trying to put up a fish or something.
Yeah.
Like that noise is there, kind of thing.
Screen like shakes. You know what? It's still happening. Yeah, I'm gonna restart real quickly, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that throughout the whole game right there. So, all right, shouldn't miss much though. Oh my God, Kongor's dead.
Kongor has been slain. Actually, it might look like something's gonna happen top. You have 3 heroes from Legion side walking up there, and 4 heroes from Hillborn sitting in the jungle here. Probably not. I think they want to hide it. That they're going out 3 heroes top.
Yeah. Reconnecting in right
It's
here. Right
interesting
now.
actually, because they actually lane it with Solar Sulfuris mid and Arachne bottom, and I thought it was gonna be a jungle Sulfuris.
Wait, yeah.
And Denver Pro playing the Sulfuris, he's usually the jungle player, so they might catch them off guard here. They're manning up with Glacier's Puppet Master and Geomancer. They might catch them off guard with this and get a Bloodlust. It could happen. Geomancer's the only one kind of showing up here, standing next to the tower.
All right.
Of course, he does have second support items. Yeah.
Okay, looks like I'm back in here. Okay. Yeah, so, as you're mentioning, Lord Self-Force in the middle. Very interesting here. Because, yeah, on paper, definitely would think him to be in that jungle, so. I'm back. I'm back. All right. These same picks, yeah. Such boring picks. Screw this. Not. All right, so yeah, Geomancer up here, being played by Sloske, as you pointed out. That's going to be the factor of will that catch them off guard. I wonder if he's going to kind of stay back here for a while, because again, with that dig, he can actually. I mean, what is the range on that? It's 1250 at level 1 even. It's all the way through, so he can sit back.
It's decent range, yeah, for sure. But it's dodgeable, so it could also happen. And Pearl is going to rotate right away, and they're going to leave the Mage Bane solo. And Hillborn supports are running over to place wards, it seems. Get some vision up and trying to find the Solstice, maybe. Could definitely catch him here.
This is, yeah, so, you know, we're just mentioning about what happened to have earlier, Flux against the Riptide. Kind of talking about, you know, we haven't seen Flux in a while, but he figure he can maybe do decent against Riptide. Hell, Self-Force seems like he should be able to do pretty well against a Riptide. He's kind of another one of these heroes that stand his ground pretty well. Now, with Pearl being here, that does change it a bit, of course.
Yeah, really lucky D-word from Bunny Lover here. It's huge for them, getting that out and blocking the camp. Humans is kind of rotating back up top, maybe looking for kill, but I don't really think they can get that. I think they should be hunting Zlapped and then trying to make a play on mid lane together. But it seems like they're doing a 2-2-1 here.
Yeah, they basically are at this point. I mean, Arachne, she's obviously doing her own thing at the bottom lane and having a pretty good time. And you see Zebe's having a little bit of trouble trying to get in a spot where he's not being harassed and boxed out, but not easy. Not easy against the Arachne here. He's just going to pull instead or try to.
Yeah, so they're going to have free farm top. Probus is going to have a good time bottom. So they're winning 2 lanes, but they don't have a jungler, so that's what they should. And then mid is kind of even. So it's really going to come down to what Zlapped can do, kind of, and individual plays in these lanes here. Because Zlapped has free farm, Magebane has nothing, and Magnus kind of has nothing too. And mid is going even, so it's kind of up to Zlapped to make some plays for his team.
I love this. He's just sitting in the steam bath. Rachna's like, I know you're here. Like,
yeah, it is a level 1 steam bath, so it's for 20 seconds.
Oh, middle lane.
So you could beat it out.
Self-Force in trouble. There's that charge, and oh, the lifesteal, it's not enough. He goes down. Messera credit for the Bloodlust kill. So, yep, sure enough, Zlapped does come in and charges in to set up a stun. Get the kill onto South Forest there.
That's huge for him. And Haxman did get a pull off up here. So that's pretty good for him. He gets a little bit of farm for that, and some levels now. He should maybe hit level 4 from this. It's pretty good.
Scene right here in the middle lane too. It's as soon as Glacius actually came out of the Invis freezing Riptide, but immediately Pearl used the Asphyxiate on Riptide to remove it. So obviously Serenia is just on point here, knowing that he has that purge effect and going to use it effectively, as we saw there.
Yeah.
Good by him, and I am always interested too to kind of see these Pearl picks and whether or not they get that E, but doesn't look like he is here.
And they have good kill potential with Riptide, so I think getting the damage out is pretty important. I would like to see Glacius start stacking these camps here, because Sulfuris is not getting much mid, but he can definitely take out triple stacks. So if he starts stacking the left side of the jungle here, that would be really good for Sulfuris. He's gonna stack a small camp here, that's good.
Yeah.
So look for him to keep doing this, because that's really how they might not get the most CS in the lane, but they can recover and be just even with Riptide here if they stack those camps.
That's going to be the plan, but Riptide definitely needs to do pretty well here, especially when you notice the bottom lane and Magnus actually getting taken out there solo by Arachna. Again, I can't say I'm too surprised, but at the same time, I kind of caught like right as it was finishing up. It looked like Magnus, he tried to stun Arachna to then get away, but he actually missed the stun on her, and so she just auto-attacked him down to secure the kill right there. So the Rev Ward also helping with that. Middle lane back here, Lord South Forest being extra slow. You see Magnus stunning in, so Magnus making plays elsewhere instead. So any credit for the kill, and down goes Bunny Lover as well. So there you go, the middle lane really needing it to succeed, and it definitely is now, if it wasn't already. 470 GPM for Massera.
Yeah, he's off to a really good start. And Zlapped has, made his rotation there, giving him the advantage. So that's good. I mean, now they're winning mid lane, and they're jungling. So it's kind of going all right for them here. Pretty good. I mean, I think Legion side is feeling that it's going pretty bad, because usually when you have a second support, you want to be ahead in kills, and that's not happening here. Top lane.
Yeah, Mage being caught initially by the Puppet Master, and you see the follow-up between Glacius and Geomancer. That's just going to be way too much lockdown to be had to be able to get away.
Good rotation from Glacius, getting killed there and then TPing top, I think, and getting a kill, so huge.
So you see Puppet Master and his farm, 360 gold per minute. Obviously, him and Arachna both doing very well, but you also notice Massera there on the Riptide, and again, though, it's a matter of how is he going to use this early farm now. Hero that doesn't necessarily bring a hard carry presence, but kind of has that snowball factor, so going to really be relying on that, especially now. As he's headed towards top. Nope, 6-minute rune, just the refreshment rune. Bottom haste.
Haste bottom there. They could snag that with Sulfuris, or even Propos could go for it if he wants to. I think it's a little bit of a mistake that they don't check it with at least one of the heroes, because they just saw everyone top. So, I mean, and they know the real rune is bottom, and every time someone gets the real rune, I mean, that's a potential kill onto one of your teammates. Like in most times, so sacrificing 100 gold in the lane or something to get it is definitely worth it.
Yeah, they did not even attempt right there. But again, I also really just feel like it's like Zlapped's mentality and just coming from that sync background. It's been like, really, they were a team that just prioritized that 100%, it feels like. And so every rune, they're at least going to compete, if not going forward. And not as stressed on the fresh side. But back to the top lane, Haxer, and this is not his friendly game for the first time today. He is being absolutely locked down here at this top.
So what they want to do is definitely working here. I mean, they're shutting down the Mage Bane, that's what they want. And they're having good farm on Arachna and good farm on Puppet. The only one struggling so far is Sulfuris a little bit, but he does have the triple stack down there, so he's going to recover just fine. I mean, this is Sulfuris. Geomancer's, doing alright too, and Glacius. I mean, they're supports at this point, so they don't offer too much yet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
They don't have... It will be, but they don't have any push heroes, like a War Beast, a Tempest, or anything. So every time they get those kills, they're not taking or getting towers from it all top.
Oh, Magnus! What was that? That was interesting. Oh, boy.
His ulti too.
Yep, and you saw the ulti come out there at the last second, so they happen to stun into each other. Even Riptide was coming over with the Eye of the Storm, but that's not going to work. So that was completely foiled right there. Sync had a big plan in mind, and unfortunately, comes up short.
They wanted 3 kills on the tower there, but that did not happen. So it's really huge for first that they did not die there. But Puppet is still up here, and so is Magnus. But they do see the Magnus running over. The nice word he put out. And this word of ref does spot people run over. I mean, should see Pearl here soon, and even Solstice. I think it might have before. So good word from him.
You see Pearl doing the counter warding. Magnus is going to be caught, though. That ward aside, as mentioned, it's saw him the whole time. It's just a matter of they ever went over there, and they sure enough did. So Magnus gets caught, and Zibbe early struggles definitely continue here. I mean, 1, 2, and 1, so he's being involved, doing what he can, but obviously that death hurting a little bit more. And Arachna just continues to free farm at the bottom, and especially being in this very free farm spot. It's top. Oh yeah, they catch Glacius over there. So a good kill happening there. But yeah, Arachna, what are we gonna see on him? I feel like especially with the Proboscis and getting this free farm, it's something like a Thunderclaw.
Yep. It's not too bad, especially if you're farming like this. You can get a ton of farm. I'm not sure what he just bought, but you could also go the Energizer and go farm. Or you could, yeah, okay, you could play like a Puppet Master with the Shroud and then look for kills. Because when you're off the map, the enemy is afraid of that spider, of course, and you know you can kill a hero pretty quickly.
See, but Puppet Master is already doing that. I mean, they play like a Puppet Master, but they happen to have a Puppet Master that's actually going Assassin Shroud. So, I don't know. It does seem it's like they're overlapping a little too much right there.
For sure. But I think also in this mindset they might have... Yeah, I guess Humans is not farming though. He's playing the second support, so they don't really have 4 farmers. So he could go the Lightning Claw. It's definitely a possibility. I mean, it would have been quite alright. Well, the Voodoo Puppet was used mid, but...
Yeah, not enough follow-up, though. It's just still there. Not actually killing him. Meanwhile, Geomancer barely escapes. Solstice ultis tried to get the kill, but it was out of range. However, he did help save himself right there because of the fear. Glacius now in trouble. Glacius is going to go down. After all of that, only the Glacius dies. That's pretty crazy in itself, considering what was actually used right there. But, oh, okay, I think they got something out of it in the end. Guess that's the good news.
It's really good of them to come out of this situation with these minimal losses, or even kills of their own. Oh, Magnus bottom. He has a haste.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that's a dead mag, but never mind.
Yeah. Never mind that.
I love this. Spider Stick is like, get back here!
Yep. I'm not sure how long it lasts. I think it's like 15 seconds or something. It's a long time.
There you go, yeah. Lasts a while, but haste you cannot be slowed, so... Good job right there, managing to get away. But yeah, so they're going to both end up getting the Assassin Shroud, and Arachna is actually just about there now. So yeah, it really just comes to the idea, though, of this doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to have, you know, late game hard carry presence by any means, but it's not going to be as radical or quickly
sure.
with the flash farming.
It's very rare to see like 2 lineups without one push hero being in the game. You know, usually there's one team that has that hero, they can push in towers, get an advantage from that, you know, but this game is not. If it almost gets a tower denier there, stunts in for it, misses it. But Provosk has been sitting here down bottom the entire game, and he finally picks up a tower 11 minutes into the game. We're not going to see a lot of tower pushes unless there's one team winning a huge fight into getting towers.
See 1200 gold now saved up on Arachna, so just about there as I say this. Riptide and Magnus are coming over. I want to take advantage of him being up pretty far. He doesn't have a level 2 W, by the way. He only has the first level, so he cannot activate it while stunned. He does take a stun right there. He is able to get it off, but it's just too much damage.
Yeah.
Good job finding him there.
There's nothing you could do about that. I think he needs 200 gold for this round, so he almost got that.
Yeah, a little interested about that. It's, you know, not getting the. I know he's had absolute free farm, but is getting another level in the web shot over just in case second point into Hard and Carapace. I think you could argue probably safe than sorry kind of deal, but you know he will get it eventually, of course.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I would probably also have gotten at least 2 levels in that W effect on Arachna.
How is Lord Self-Force recovered? You mentioned he has that potential, so O2 and start. Not really a huge deal. He has 300 gold per minute now. He's definitely done that recovering in the jungle a bit right here. Seems like the tablet is going to be his item choice, which is a usual one.
They kind of switched the Geomancer to solo top now, kind of trying to get whatever comes to the tower, and then Self-Force is jungling, Puppet Master's now mid, and Arachna's bottom. Kind of what we expected them to do in the beginning, but now they're doing this. This, of course, frees up space for Mage Bane to try and recover, and he is actually doing a good job of that. 260 GPM now. He was down to 170, 180, I think. But they did accomplish what they wanted. Arachna's 400, Mage Bane is 260. He's not going to snowball for a long time, so they have a huge opening here in which they could force fights and, be 5 versus 4 and kind of, have the upper hand there.
Yeah.
If they can kill the Riptide and take a tower, that's what they should look to do. But so far, they're farming a lot.
Yeah, well, that exactly goes back to that double Assassin Shroud now. Yeah, if they, especially on Arachna, getting Assassin Shroud then just continuing to farm the jungle like he's kind of doing here is kind of defeats the purpose, obviously, of going the item. Now, not to say what he's doing right there is exactly wrong, but this next minute or so, you do see him now heading towards the middle lane.
It's also that if Arachna can definitely solo kill people, but if you put the Spider Sting onto Mage Bane, he's just gonna blink away. He doesn't care.
And look at Riptide. Talk about getting away. He's just going to use the Eye of the Storm to help get away from it as Geomancer top lane does get found right there and eventually killed. So now he's bringing it over here to teammates and eventually does die. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. Granted, it's a ultimate use to get away from the Spider Sting, but still.
Yeah. Magnus can stun away, Mace Wing can blink, so it's actually not that threatening, even if he's not showing on the map. He's gonna try and use it here.
Now he says, Eye of the Storm this. Well, doesn't have a Spider Sting just yet, obviously, and actually Riptide is going to be fine. Magnus, he's thinking about going back in. Nope, never mind. He was charging, but realized that maybe the backup wasn't the best right there. So decided to play it safe and fall back, and yeah, maybe a little hindsight here, but it does seem like more and more that this Assassin Shroud on Arachna may not have been the greatest choice here.
No, if he wants to go farm here, get the Lightning Claw and be 500 GPM now instead of 380. But then you want to battle it out with Mage Bane in the late game. And this, I think the item is the idea they want to do something now and then get towers and fight while Mage Bane is weak, but hasn't worked out yet here. He's looking for kills around the map here.
Always impressive seeing Self-Force do triple stack Ancients as if it's nothing, and look at his GPM all of a sudden. 375 gold per minute now. A Self-Force that was pretty locked down in the beginning. Again, this was banned the first game by Sync and picked up first this game. Now we do see, okay, Arachna's like, fine, I'll settle for Pearl. And Pearl can't do much herself right there, so obviously that's...
If she ulties, I don't think she pushes the Spider either. No. I don't think so. And that's at least going to stay in the bubble, so that's going to deal damage to her.
Yeah.
So even if she bubbled there, I don't think it would have been enough for her to survive.
No, that Spider does some good damage, actually. The slow's one thing, but yeah, up to 750 right now at level 2, 1125 physical damage at level 3. So it's definitely a good chunk of damage that it's also dealing out on top of the 80% slow at level 3. So
yep,
might as well be immobile.
Sibba is approaching his portal key timing here. That's going to be huge for them, while Slask is still missing 1500. But honestly, at this point, it's all about, winning one fight and then you probably have it. So see if that can happen for either team.
Oh, Magma stunning in. Geomancer. Yep, he's dead. So Riptide was there to follow it up. However, top lane hacks her in. Goes down. So he was so close to finishing a Rune Cleaver finally. And, well, he's going to have to wait once again a little bit longer. And, well, look at there. Peril yet again found by Arachna. So I think Proboscis found his nice little friend here in Pearl, able to kill her twice.
Well, looking at it, if they can keep doing this, double Shroud, you find the Serenia down bottom, and then you find the Mage Bane up top, you can kind of shut down and contain them, because he put a huge offensive void here that sees everyone coming over, and he can definitely make some kills happen as soon as they start splitting up again, and there's only one hero down here, or maybe two.
Interesting choice by Self4. I guess it kind of makes sense to go the Void Talisman here. Between Magebane and Riptide. Be good against them.
Yeah, I guess it's alright. I think it's a little early to get it, especially when you're farming this well.
That's true, yeah.
It might be a bit too early. I like the idea behind it for sure, but I think still Magnus, and Solstice, the magic damage output is enough to take it down if you might even pop it. So it might be a little bit too early. You could maybe work towards the sheep stick already. You get the blessed orb or whatever he wants to get.
Oh, Arachna, bottom lane, gonna go for Magebane perhaps again. He has that blink, obviously. Here we go. There's the Spider Sting, gonna blink. Geomancer, can he follow this up? Another Spider Sting attack. You see Pearl's there, so Geomancer's like, I don't want to go. Magnus, he stuns in. Arachnid is going to pop that Hardened Carapace, and now Geomancer puts down the Crystal Field. They have to walk around it. Riptide collides though in the background. Glacius and Arachnid are going to survive initially. Not for long, though. Magnus and Solstice actually comes in there to eventually clean them up. Geomancer is going to be killed. Self-Force, though, he joins the party late, but he's here now, going to do some work. Or maybe not. He turns around immediately and actually falls back. Puppet Master does kill Magnus, but now he's kind of in a dangerous spot as Solstice in pursuit, but so is Magebane actually. Self-Force trying to finish him off. Not going to be enough damage, though. Blink in time for Magebane. Going to survive. Puppet Master with that Assassin Shroud, meanwhile. He's still escaping, and he actually will also get away as, yep, Pearl's going to die too. So, both the carries barely get out of there.
It's amazing to see these fights, though, because if Self-Force hit that Q onto Magebane, I'm pretty sure he could have just, he killed him, he could have maybe went over for Riptide. I mean, his haste just ran out there, though, so that's unfortunate. But I mean, man, they could not deal with Self-Force when he charged in there. Normally that's, a suicide move, charging in after the free of your teammates die like that. But the Zero is very strong, and especially with this amount of farm, and when the enemy team has the spells on cooldown, he can come in and clean up, for sure.
Absolutely. No, he's definitely something that maybe I even did overlook a little bit. Talking about these shrouds here, and how it takes away maybe their flash farming earlier on. But honestly, having Self-Force too, having that tri-core setup, Self-Force is going to kind of be that meaty presence that could do plenty of damage for you, in the front line. So yeah, this is actually, I think Fresh might be feeling pretty solid right now with where they're at. I mean, Self-Force is just continuing to farm too.
Yep. I mean, they have answers for this Magebane, even if you get 6 items. I mean, you have Puppet, Arachna, and Self-Force. If those heroes also start getting, 3-4 items when Magebane has 6, I think you're feeling pretty good still. So this is interesting game, this last one here.
Fun one to finish up on. That's what we hope for here. Definitely getting that. Pearl helping her team do the Ancient. So it looks like she did at least get the 1 point. No, she is leveling it up, her E, that is, a Soothing Presence. Currently at level 3 even, so likes that idea to be able to help burst heal the team if it calls for it.
I think it's the right idea, because you don't really need to do more damage on your W spell here. I think all it adds is plus 70 damage per level up, and it costs a little bit more mana. I think at this point your team is going to deal the damage. It's not the Pearl, you're just going to try and save people. So if you can heal for that little extra to, give your team that extra chance to survive or get more damage out, I think that's the way to go. I like that idea from him, skilling like this.
So 4 is 440 gold per minute now and counting. The Blessed Orb, the 1,000 more gold saved up. So that Sheepstick is definitely looking pretty appealing right now for him and going to be coming up more in the near future. Solstice ends up getting he's going to be getting a Shrunken Head. He did go the Portal Key route. We really haven't talked too much about Zlapped in this build here, about 3-0-4. Obviously been doing solid. Top lane, again, the Geomancer and the Magmas kind of stun through one another. Crystal Field goes down. Look at that. Wow. It actually allowed him to live right there.
Yep.
Because of the mana riff would have canceled it. So well played by Geomancer to escape.
It's a good escape there, yeah. It's funny with those two heroes that they both go invulnerable while they're stunning.
Yeah.
So they're trying to land a stun. Yep.
Can't stun each other if they're trying to stun each other. Go figure.
Yeah.
Arachna going to do some Ancients. Now, speak of a hero that's not so good at Ancients, that'd be Arachna. She's all about that single target, so.
For sure. She does have a double damage, so it definitely helps with that. Looks like Puppet is trying to find kills mid here. This is Solstice and Riptide. Could be another clash here.
Oh boy, Solstice, he's channeling up meanwhile, but they're going to avoid. They saw that coming. In comes Geomancer, still on the Riptide. I believe the Undying also applied to him on top of that. He's going to go for the TP. I don't know if he's going to survive, though, in the well. Down goes Pearl. Yep, Riptide did go down. Obviously, Magebane dead from earlier on in the fight. What a clash there for Fresh. A 3-for-0, actually.
I'm not sure, but Arachna soloed the Magebane. I didn't catch that at all. I just saw it pop up on my screen. And Riptide dies to the Sulfureus ulti there. Yep. A huge swing for, what's it called, for Fresh there. That's well played from them.
I'm with you. I did not. I was too surprised to see Magebane dead, actually. I did not get it. In fact, I got the replay right here. I'll see if maybe get it somewhere on the replay, but...
What I assume is that he blinked, you know, and then, you know, Arachna's shrouded right where he blinked to, and then she just pops the ulti and auto-attacks him down. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah, you know what it was? Yeah, Magebane was kind of charging in to join the fight, and he actually, Arachna ended up going to the assassin on the uphill as he was coming in and just caught him with the spider sting. And yeah, I think his blink was on cooldown for just a couple of seconds at that point, too. In fact, speaking of that, Arachna finds Solstice right here. Oh, he's just going to TP out, and so does Arachna, though, knowing that support's coming. And he actually gets out in time, too, so good reaction on his part.
Nice heads up from him, yeah. Because 0.2 seconds later, Magebane would have ulti cancelled that, and Riptide's coming in, so... Puppet, though.
Puppet, not as good of a reaction. He goes down right there. Glacius, the Mana Rift, though, will stop his Glacial downpour, but he actually gets away. However, Geomancer not the same. Here comes Arachna running back in. He notices, though, they have a Rev Ward, so it's not going to chase any further. But, yeah, again, with this new precision as well, always got to keep in mind with the Arachna how she works now. I mean, she will do a lot of damage to you if she's able to sit on you for a couple of auto attacks even. So, definitely going to see more and more of that potential as this game picks up here.
Yep. The back and forth action, really even game, and this is also what happens when you don't have that push hero on either side of the team. There's a lot of room for comeback because even if you lose a fight, you still have your towers up, so you still have the same map control, you still have the same room to farm and go for ganks win. So it's really interesting. There's going to be a lot of back and forth in this game.
Nope.
It's already been the force bottom.
Look at Sulfureus. He's like, I'm God. Okay, yeah, that was a little greedy. He just really charged in there for Riptide. Now, granted, he obviously didn't know everyone was there. But yeah, from our perspective, it looked a little silly. I mean, there was 4 heroes there, kind of just waiting to see if Riptide would be jumped, and sure enough, he was. So
if you go for a kill like that and you have 500 GPM, you need to make sure that there's not a lot of backup. So definitely a little misplay there from him, because that's a lot of gold for them and experience. It's definitely what they want. It's a 3K experience string, I think, from that. So you can't do that when you have so much farm on your hero.
Yeah, I think that's
a bit safer.
I think it's a case of he's just feeling a little stronger than he actually really is. I mean, sure, he is strong, but you can't act like you're invincible by any means. And hell, even if the argument's made that yes, he didn't actually see them because we have God vision, he doesn't. I mean, they're not on the map then. He obviously didn't see them elsewhere, and you're diving a secondary tower by yourself. So it's a risky play, and clearly it backfired for him. So learning his lesson, if anything, may not do that in the future here, but it did cost them a death on top of that.
But at least, I mean, he has good items. He has the sheep stick, tablet, face boots. Also, avoid talisman is gonna start working for him here real soon. And Puppet picked up the shrunken head, and Arachna skipped, getting a Geometer's Bane. I think she's going for shrunken head too. I'm not sure that she actually needs to have that, but you can never really go wrong with it. But at the same time, she could upgrade it to Geometers because you get so much magic armor from the hardened carapace.
Yeah, that I don't with the hardened carapace. It's not only the magic, but the fact that she can use it as essentially a shrunken head. It's just like, why does she need the shrunken head on top of that? It's not like a Swiftblade either. It's because Swiftblade, there's that negative where he's stuck in the spin then, and that may be a little bit of a downside. But I don't know. To me, it seems a little overkill. Yeah.
I guess that the way he's been playing, he's like trying to shroud in and find kills. If he can pop a shrunken as he's going for the kill and not worry about Magma stunning him or Solstice stunning him, he can deal that extra damage. and maybe get a kill and then be safe afterwards without them doing anything to him. I think that's his logic and how he wants to use it. But definitely he could also sit back and play it differently and then buy more damage items. But then he should not be the ones looking for kills and initiating as he's been doing. So I think it's just to the style of play he's been having throughout the game. And he's gonna do the same and picks that up to be safe.
We did see somebody go Ice Brand recently on Arachna into Frostos Skull. God, I'm blanking who it was. I don't think it was Probusk. But I guess BMG, that is maybe? Still an option. It might have been BMG, yeah. They played a lot. So that's could still be an option, but the way he's saving up gold leads to believe that it's going to be a
I don't think so. I don't hope so. I personally don't want to see a Fossil Skull Dragon in this game.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Seems like a little
Granted,
repetitive.
I've never really bought that item myself on the hero, but I can't imagine it being good compared to something else.
No. But yeah, way saving out probably going to be that Shrunken. Again, those are appearing across the board now. We mentioned Solstice and Riptide having that. Puppet Master, of course, has his own. 1,300 gold on South Forest. Obviously, he has a Sheepstick finished here, so we'll see what is on his mind for a next tier item. Magebane, did he buy something? God, I want to say he probably.
I think he's been sitting on those items for quite a while.
Yeah.
I think he should have another item here. Yeah. I think you're right. He has been struggling though. They have been killing him a lot, putting a lot of priority into doing that. Oh, they're really rotating over here.
Yeah, Arachna's here. Oh wow, Riptide happens to open at the exact second, but now comes the Puppet Show. And Voodoo Puppet more so, Riptide does go down. Arachna trying to avoid death. Ain't going to happen, though. Mana Rift snipes her out. Put the Sheepstick on a Magebane. They catch him. The Undying's applied. Even if he blinks here, he's probably dead. He's not even able to blink. So well played to catch him. And it's a 2-for-1 that Fresh will be happy with. Again, they're running a tri-core, so losing one of their 3 carries. Not a big deal there.
It's really good for them there. And if he had the Shrunken Head there, he would have lived. So I think in the way he's playing, it makes sense. It's a good player. But on paper, not so much, I think. But
yeah,
the way he's playing this game, it's all right.
That's true. All right there.
X-Men has a Mighty Blade on him now, so I actually don't think he really has more, because else he would have had a Shrunken Head now, right?
I know. I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's just that, and he really just has. I mean, that's his 5th death now. He's 1, 5, and 4. So he is. Every time he maybe gets a little bit of gold, he's kind of being stalled here a little bit. So it has not been a friendly game for X-Men, that's for sure. Denver Pro. Yeah, he just got a portal key. Okay, that's coming out here on South Forest, so to assist with that Sheepstick.
Yeah, the Blink Sheep is pretty huge here. Every time you get that, that's you can pick up a portal key after. That's a good item. I know Imberboy also, he's been playing Oogie also, having a ton of items, and then he picks up a Sheepstick. Sometimes he buys the portal key just to get the initiation and initial kill onto the target he wants. So it's a very good item on top of a Sheepstick.
Spending a good chunk of gold there on that. Arachna, a couple more gold, and he will be able to right-click a Shrunken. There we go. So that settles that whole discussion there. He does indeed get the Shrunken. Geomancer is still trying to finish a Shrunken, or portal key, excuse me, and actually is just about there. In fact, there we go. So this is a secondary support Geomancer. It took a while, 31.5 minutes, but he finally will have it at least.
To be fair, there's no room for him to really farm. And it's actually quite amazing that they have been able to win these fights as heavy as they have with, tri-cores and basically 2 supports. So now he has that, and that's good for them to follow up with. But he doesn't have to initiate now that Forest also has a portal key. He can be the initiator, and Geomancer can be the follow-up. I think the best way is Geomancer go first, stun, pop the ulti, so Forest jump in with the Sheepstick onto the target, and then that guy's dead for sure.
Yeah, it is interesting interaction, of course, with him as well, using it while you're in that dig. The fact that that's possible, really get some decent range on that if you need it, for that matter. So very powerful potential there of now being a good lead stunner and initiator for the team, or follow-up or whatever is necessary. Magebane, he's, again, doing his best to try to get that Shrunken Head here. But as we notice, I mean, Arachna, she's obviously not too concerned of a shrunken herself. I mean, it's still as good to get against a puppet, especially. But it's not going to be the end.
Here's what direction Solstice is going to go for, because I think he has to get a damage item too. It's not enough with only Mage Bane dealing damage against these Tricores. And I hope Magnus is getting a Storm and not finishing a Tablet here, because they really need a Storm Spirit here, especially when they have that Blink Sheep stick. They really need a Storm Spirit. That's going to be huge for them if they can, save a guy and he can, pop the Shrunken right after and turn the fight. Mm-hmm. So I hope he's going to go for that with the Neophyte's book, because he's doesn't look like he's finding any farm either. Same with the Geomancer. It's the other hero's fight, getting the farm.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see where Solstice does go, because obviously he has that potential to actually be a pretty hard hitter. And, the way he's built so far, the Portal Key into the Shrunken, it's a very initiation heavy. And if he kind of keeps that mindset, I feel like he's going to be going more of a supportive style instead, maybe something like that Storm Spirit himself. But, yeah, to see damage on him would be interesting, something like that in Sanitarius now, even into like a Brutalizer or something like that. But yeah, let's see what he goes for, sitting on 2,000 gold now. Hell, Soul's Bulwark actually might not be bad here.
Yeah, wouldn't be too bad to pick up on their team. At least someone should. Him or Riptide, I think. And the other one could honestly go for an Abyssal Skull, and that would also be alright. And then try and work towards a bigger and better item from that point on. One of them could finish Demonic, another one could go for some sort of auto attack damage. As the Brutalizer onto something like a Riptide is alright.
See Puppet Master with that bound die, so able to use that to help counter ward, and also see the Invis, something like the Steam Bath, of course, of Magnus. So speaking of that, obviously he saw Puppet and God, he happens to have a Hastered again. Some pretty prime spots here.
Guessing has had a lot of runes this game, and they've made that a priority, so it's really good for them. It's been helping them out a lot.
You see Iraq now trying to maybe bait something out here in the middle, but obviously Sync not really falling for it. South Forest is scouting things out with the Veiled Rot, but again, Sync is just doing a good job of evading right now, making sure not to get caught here.
They want to get to the 6 eyes and Mage Bane. Oh, Serenia.
Should be a dead pearl here. Mage Bane is, oh my god, he's going in. They're going in big time, actually. Glacius is caught in the background. He goes down. That was a Solstice Ultimate used, though, and Shrunken down on Mage Bane. Yeah, I think the Legion 2 could definitely turn this. Geomancer gets found before he can make a move, though, and he is killed off the bat. Solstice, however, he's dealing with Arachna, which is not easy. Meanwhile, Puppet Master by himself, he goes down. This is a sloppy fight, kind of going in one by one. Both teams, really.
It looks so good for Legion because they reset so really well. They only lost the Glacius and for the Pearl right there, and the Mage Bane Shrunken Head was down. But then Puppet charges in though and runs into a Bound Eye Magnus, and Mage Bane, he tries to initiate on Mage Bane and catch him, but I mean he sees him, so he pops a Geobane and blinks out, and then they just kill the Puppet. And his Shrunken Head was on cooldown too, so risky play from Puppet. If you played that a bit differently, I think that would have been really good for Legion because Arachna was coming in and already had the Solstice kill.
See Arachna right here, avoiding any kind of jump as Magnus nearby, but we'll be fine there. But yeah, that really looked like a turn chance for the Legion side, but definitely different pages between a couple of the players. So
yeah,
missing out on that. 2,300 gold saved up by Mage Bane now. Now, interesting spot for him as well, because something like the Wingbow could usually be a traditional pickup here, but probably not going to be seeing that, especially with that precision, once again, of Arachna. The true strike that it provides.
Exactly. So it's like, I just forgot about that for a second here, because it's like, the Wing was pretty good, honestly. But, Arachna kind of counters that idea.
Yeah.
So if you want to survive, deal damage, you have to go for some other items than that.
Well, that's where the idea of something like a Frostless Skull then, kind of like the previous game that we were talking about, just really let it tank up. And
also, since they have those routes, so if you can, keep hitting them, and you can catch up to them because of that, that's not too bad. It's a pretty good item. Trying to think what else he could really get, because it's just Wingbow is so good on him because he's agility and you get attack speed and attack damage and everything, but you can't really go for it here.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what other item he should go for in terms of attack damage. Then he might have to get on Savage eventually, just because of Arachne might get a wing bow, and that might be an item he'll go for last. But I think Frostbolt Skull is might be the next way he'll go for you, or the next route for him.
Okay. Geomancer being pretty patient down here at the bottom lane, seeing if anything comes up, but as we see, maybe not going to be the case. And right now he's by himself, so probably not going to be getting any solo kills.
I like the idea though, just sit and be patient. But he needs, either Puppet or Arachne or Sulfuras to sit there with him and just wait. Else he can't really do anything by himself.
Probusk right here again, looking for a chance here in the middle. Obviously, the vision has been so important in this game. The double assassin shot, especially here on the Legion side. Tell Syncs made that a high priority from all the Rev Wards, the Bound Eye that they have. Double damage into your bottom. Riptide wanted it, but I think he realized that he wasn't going to be able to get there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we haven't really seen Kongor attempt yet. It might happen in the near future. But the thing about last fight though is that they lost the Bound Eye on Legion side, so they're gonna lose a bit of map control here. As we see, Hillpoint sees everything that's happening here in the river. They have the Ward of Ref here spotting everyone running through the mid, so they know there's 5 heroes pushing here.
There we go with Kongor. A double damage Arachne. So much damage that between the web shot. See how slow Kongor becomes. Meanwhile, Geomancer, oh my gosh, he's going to see this eruption. There we go, the eruption coming in, hits the one target in Arachne. The follower from Solstice as well. Arachne's dropping, just about dead actually. He's trying to run, he can't get out of there. The Rune Cleaver Magebane doing work. I feel like they saw this happening, yet it still just completely wrecks them. And now Kongor gonna go to Sync Esports. There's a token for Magebane. What on earth was that about?
Yeah. If you look at the void though, you can see there's still fog on the right side. So he has to play it like a little bit further up, and then he would have seen it.
Oh my
gosh. But he didn't. So I mean that's so unfortunate. But that's what happens when you fight at Kongor though, and that's such a clutch place. And Hellpoint still has the tier 2 towers up. They can be everywhere. Kinda. I mean it's very risky to go for that play, and 4 for 1 right there. That's huge for his sync. So really good fight for them. Huge initiation for Tip. But really unfortunate that Void does not see them come in, because that would have definitely changed that fight. They would have ran out, and Tip would have wasted that ulti, and Arachne with double damage, would have turned that. So yeah, unfortunate circumstances, but at the same time, well executed from Sync.
Yeah, no, I was waiting I thought Geomancer for sure was going to dig in right there and stop the eruption of anything, and kind of really stop. I mean, we see right there in the replay though, it's just simply he was able to get it off, and they did not see it. That's just simply put. As you pointed out, the Ward of Sight was just in the wrong spot, unfortunately, and it completely went against Fresh right there. And meanwhile, Slosky, he gets found by Haxer actually as well as Solstice, and collapse onto him for the kill. So, and now Magebane, look at that. There's the Frosto Skull, another 1,800 plus gold saved up. So, yeah, Tricore versus a single core. Obviously, Tricore can be pretty strong, but the obvious downside is you're spreading out a lot of that farm, and you're not as radical on the one hero. And that's the case we're seeing here now. You got a Magebane all of a sudden that has potential to solo kill and take out multiple players of a team. In fact, they're going to feel comfortable enough to go in right here. They tried at least. End up missing, though.
They had to stun on Forest, but I mean, he got out because of tablets there. And I'm not sure who stormed him. I think Sipper did, actually. Oh, he's here. So, yeah, actually kind of saved him in a weird way. So, unfortunate. They actually had to jump there.
Magebane has that token. You see it blinking right there in the spot. Now they're going to go on it with Arachne. Using a lot off the bat. There's Pearl, though, with the bubble. It's going to prevent some good damage, and actually he will go back in onto Arachne now. Arachne dropping a half-life. He's getting really low. He does not have a buyback. He goes down, by the way. No buyback. Mana Rift coming out as well. Magebane still going full throttle right here. Riptide also assisting. They did lose Magnus. He got his eruption off, however. Arachne staying dead. As mentioned, no buyback, so they're not going to push into the base too hard, at least just yet. Kind of resetting here. And now they're going back to the tower. So Puppet Master, he's going to try to maybe make something happen here as far as the hold goes. Obviously, Geomancer up. Did use his ultimate, so not going to have it here. This Sheepstick on the Magebane gets purged out immediately, though. And down goes Lord Salforus. I've got to believe that was from Pearl right there. Purging the Sheepstick off. Down goes the tower. Down goes the melee racks. Like a Riptide even thinking about going in right there. That would have been really risky. But they get the racks. This game is just completely turned on its favor of Sync Esports. What was it? If anything, even. If anything, elite for fresh is now 100%. Not 100%, but it's a lot of Sync right here.
Yeah. I think that's a bit of trying to calm things down because they still have a chance to win this game. Honestly,
oh yeah,
it's definitely a huge momentum swing for Sync. They got the racks there. They still have the token for 2 minutes, and like everything went in their favor. It's like 8-9 kills for 1 or 2. So huge swing for them, and we see that on the stats too: 20,000 experience and 40,000 gold. What was an even game before, completely swung in Sync's favor after that Kongor fight. So if they can try and calm things down here, they still have the potential to win the game here. But the problem is they have the Storm and Magnus now. They might have another Storm and Pearl soon, so it's just going to be way harder. And Magebane almost has another item. Riptide is almost picking up a Demonic here, and Solstice has 4,000 gold. He can pick and choose from whatever damage items he wants. So it's going to be really hard, but there's definitely a small chance to climb your way back here. It's not over yet.
Definitely not. And again, it kind of goes back to the lineup and how they have been succeeding here so far. But yeah, it is something just kind of seeing Sync now. It's all kind of come together. And for the first time today, we were seeing Haxer here in general. Played treble his first match. He played Magebane these now 3 matches, third match in a row. He just happened to be, this is the first time where he was just struggling. He was getting completely locked down. They addressed that. I think he had like 2 or 3 deaths even, under 200 GPM for a point there. But he was able to finally break through. And we see, again, more power just of Magebane in that later game stage. If he gets there and has at least decent farm, then it will be threatening. 42.5 minutes in, 610 gold per minute now. And another 4,800 gold even saved up. So, again, going to be interesting to see what he does go for. Still waiting for that Solstice follow-up. He did get the Abyssal Skull, but nearly 4,000 gold himself. So we'll see what he makes a point to get here, as it looks like now Fresh is ready. Gotta go with you on that one. I think that was definitely a bit of a strap pause there. Want to talk it over, so we've done that now. Gonna try their best to recoup and stay strong here, but things are a lot harder now because you got next tier items coming out. Portakey on Pearl even, and 3 bound eyes because reasons. It's a lot of bound eyes. 4 bound eyes. All right now.
What's happening?
A little bit of troll here from Serenia.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, they did win a couple of fights where Legion had bound eyes, and then they took them from them. So I think he's just putting some in the base here. Yeah. He should at least.
That's hilarious. Arachna has another one now.
Yeah.
Is there one in the well? Did they keep the other one? Yeah, they keep it in the well. So there's 4 bound eyes in the game right now. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. Solstice did go no Fireblade. Okay. So he likes the idea of being able to purge here.
I guess you can remove Ice Imprisonment, but they all have Shrunken Heads. What does he want to purge? I guess just slow in general. You can purge the Puppet Q, I think, not the W, if I remember correctly. I'm not too sure, actually, why he really wants that item.
I mean, Sheepstick, we saw
the Sheepstick, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
okay,
well,
right.
Pearl was on top of that the last time. I guess having another way is also good for that. There goes Puppet getting caught. But yeah, Sheepstick, it's definitely a good argument that it's good just in general for that alone.
Yeah, it is for the Sheepstick, 100%. So you're right on that one. I didn't see it.
Does not remove Undying once again. That will not be removed by anything. Hellflower now too, you can also argue, but what's going on over there?
He got found by Glacius, but he blinked away in time, so good heads up from him.
Oh, Riptide, what are you doing? He even saw Arachna with the bound eye. I mean, it's very blatant with the icon above his head. He kind of just kept walking right by him. That was a mistake.
Yeah, they're kind of TPing out, so they're leaving Arachna, actually.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I was going to say, they got the Mana Rift. And down goes Arachna, so, and he doesn't have a buyback. Actually, that Puppet's still waiting to come up right here, so.
It's a little weird decision to just leave everyone, go out.
Yeah.
Because it kind of results in an instant loss because no one has buyback, so I think they had to kind of fight there. But, yeah.
I mean, Puppet's up now, but you're already going to be losing the racks right here before you can even think about going in. Now, we do see Geomancer jump in. However, he's kind of by himself, and, well, he goes down quickly. You see Magebane with that Genjiro now, by the way. He's helping to use that to kill Glacius. Going to finish off the racks. Yeah, I think Sync may have actually just broken through. So definitely there was still chance for Fresh, but, and hell, getting a pick onto Riptide, you figured things would have been at least decent there, but unfortunately losing Puppet Master at the bottom lane, and then eventually Arachna, as we saw right there with no buyback, has now made things extra difficult for coming back here. And this Mage Mage is attacking so fast now.
Yep, he bought it full Genjiro here. So
that's going to be Megas. And that usually means game. And by usually, always.
Yeah, there we go.
GG, well played. Game 2 and the series and the day. We'll go to Sync Esports. What a day for them. They happen to play in both series, and they go 4-0 all throughout. 2-0 against Nightmare Knights and 2-0 against Fresh here to start off the group stages. Again, these are their first 2 matches. They're going to start and continue to be undefeated so far. So strong performance from them and feeling good about it, I'm sure. So, but yeah, your final thoughts, Near, on this game here.
Yeah, an interesting one. I liked it. Funny how a small thing as that Void just, I mean, not seeing Zipper Channel ulti there is kind of deciding that game, or the game, honestly. Because that was for 4-1 in their favor, and they took the game from there, plus the token. So it's that Kongor fight completely won the game for Sync. Well played from them, and an interesting one here to finish it all off.
God, I got the replay up again, and it was so close. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that just had to feel so bad if you're Fresh right there. And yep, they just got cleaned up in the Kongor pit. So you're definitely right that's where it really went all for Sync, and they rode that wave of momentum right there all the way to the finish to once again pick up their victory. So again, another congratulations to Sync Esports. Oh, that's not actually updated just yet. Let me go and save it right here. But again, speaking of the standings, now things are looking. So now with 3 days in the books, with 3 more to